Hey guys, Gary Lucas with Obsidian Painting. Today we're going to be doing Storm Warden's Space Marine chapter. This is the chapter I chose out of the Space Marine Commander help video. I had a lot of great suggestions like Sprue Gray and one I won't name, and they were terrific. However, I decided to just go through the list and pick the color scheme I thought was coolest. So sorry, Canvas 1 and Bezeric. I'm still kind of suffering from that minor cold, so excuse me if I start dying in the middle of this. So the colors you're going to need are Regal Blue, Mithril Silver, Shining Gold. You're also going to need Lich Purple. I'm searching for it right now on the desk. And then Astronomicon Gray, which I'll also search for a moment. And those are the colors we're going to use. So essentially, we're going to start off with Regal Blue. And I'm just thinning down the paints just a little bit. I'm going to paint this to my tabletop level, just to let you guys know that I do paint heroes to a tabletop level as well. And they look perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So it's cool. So I'm just thinning it just a little bit. It's probably like 2 drops of paint, 1 drop of water, maybe half and half. I have no idea. Just want enough to kind of make the paint flow a little bit and not cover in one coat, because what happens is with one coat of paint is it's actually thick enough that it can ruin detail and create an uneven surface for you to paint on. And I like painting on with as smooth a surface as possible, so I thin down the paint a little bit to help with that. So essentially, I'm just base coating, nothing fancy. Just try to be as neat as possible. If you can, leave the deepest recesses black. If not, don't worry about it. We are going to be washing the figure, so it isn't necessary. However, it does make it a little bit easier if you leave the recesses black on your own anyways. So once you've applied several coats and get a nice opaque color, you're going to move on to the silver. At least I did. You can go on to whatever color you want. I just decided to go into the silver afterwards because I hate metallics, so I wanted to get that out of the way. And we're not doing anything fancy. It's just Mithril Silver. And I chose Mithril Silver because I like the brightness of it, and it fits with the Storm Warden theme. If you go for a darker color, it doesn't really give the same effect. So you want a nice, bright, silvery color. And I did thin it down just a little bit, just to allow the paint to flow, as opposed to just being a really thick blob. I added a couple drops of water to make the metallic pigment loosen up a little bit. And I know I should get a new brush. I try not to use my good brushes for my metallic paints. And this is all I really had sitting around. So one of the things characteristical, that's not even a word, I don't think. One of the characteristics of being a Storm Warden Space Marine is they have silver pauldrons. So it'll have a kind of like a blue trim, but the main area of it will be silver. And I'm going to show you guys how to paint their insignia. And we're going to do that freehand style. And it's going to be sick. Or at least I hope so. Another thing that they do is they have silver hands. I don't know why, but they got silver hands. So paint their hands silver. That includes the little fiddly bit on the end of the arm, where the wrist is, like the big, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And then that's how I painted the backpack. I also ended up painting that bottom eagle thing gold as well, just to break up the silver. And I'm just using shining gold, just thinned down a little bit. I was too lazy to add other colors to it, so I just did shining gold straight onto the black paint. If you want, you can actually add a brown color to the shining gold. So either scorched brown or even Calthon brown. I like using Calthon brown because if you add a foundation paint to the gold, it'll really make it cover really quickly. If you want another gold tutorial, check out Obsidian Painting Show 1, and there's a quick and easy gold. And then they also have white capes. So I like to base white with Astronomicon Gray. And and I find that this really helps. Now, Astronomicon Gray is a foundation paint, so they're designed to cover in one coat. I still don't like covering them in one coat, but once again, I was feeling lazy when I was doing this. So I just added a tiny drop of water, and I grabbed my big brush. Because, as I said, I was feeling lazy. You got a right to feel lazy. You can feel lazy as long as you still do a good job. Just take your time and make it look right. And for white, I like to start with kind of like a gray, and I love Astronomicon Gray because it has a slightly bluish tinge to it. So you can get all sorts of wonderful goodness. And you just want to let it dry, and then just keep building up the coat till it's nice and smooth and covers completely. And that's just what you want to do. You don't want to try and do it all completely in one coat. This looks like it's going on one coat, but as you can, there are some areas that are kind of splotchy, and two coats is good for foundation paints. After that, you're going to take your Lich Purple, and this is also another kind of characteristic thing of the Storm Warden chapter, is they apparently have purple capes on the inside. Not the outside, just the inside. And there's a possibility we may do some freehand on the cape. I'm still deciding. I have no idea. And if it is going to be freehand, it's just going to be simple trim. I'm not going to do anything fancy, just kind of like maybe a gold trim around the cape. But we'll see. And you want to paint most of that area purple. Yeah, and I painted that white, but then I realized it was actually the inside of the cape, so you have to paint purple. And once again, build up the layers over time. Don't just do one thick layer. Build up a couple layers. It's gonna really go towards that nice, smooth finish. And just for the record, I also painted the what are they? I don't even know what they are. The little tassel-y things he's got on his chest. I painted them purple as well. And for the cloth, his little tabard thing, and the parchment purity seals, I painted them a 50-50 mix. I can't speak today. 50-50 mix of Khemri brown and bleached bone. I find that this is really nice for basing scrolls and stuff, because if you just use Khemri brown, it's really dark. And I like to kind of have brighter purity seal stuff. So I based it 50-50 with Khemri brown and bleached bone. Now once again, I don't show it on camera, but just build up the layers. Right, I think this took about 3 layers, but it's better than just doing one really thick layer. It's much better. Makes it easier to paint on. So I'm just going to paint Talor and Flesh. And I was originally going to do those little things metallic, but I decided not to. Well, I will later. But I'm just going to do Talor and Flesh. And nice! Camera fell. Forgot I had that in there. You know what? I'm going to leave that in just to show you guys this crap happens when you paint with a camera in front of your face. Nice. So, Talor and Flesh, it'll cover in a couple coats because it's kind of, I don't know, it's the weirdest of the foundation paints, I think. But it's a really nice color. It's kind of got like a reddish color to it. It's really neat. And I'm just painting the whole head like that. And it's hard to see, but I actually do leave a little bit of a black line in between the skull, not the skull, his head, and the little metal things attached to it. And that way it'll add depth, and when we do our washes, they'll just kind of blend right in, and you won't even notice. Yeah? Alright. So, yeah, so that's all you're going to do. And just do a couple coats until it looks right to you. Okay? Alright guys, so when you're done base coating, just go up and retouch areas that need to be retouched up. There's no big deal about it. And don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot of more videos. Like in the coming 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a non-metallic metal gold. We're also going to be doing how to paint Imperial Guardsmen. We're going to be doing how to paint power swords. And it's going to be all fun and dandy. And it's going to be awesome. So subscribe.